Recreation Park Commission, Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. Roll call, please.
Hello. Joseph Harris.
Here.
Enrique Ortiz.
Here.
Emily Dryling.
Here.
Michael Jimenez.
Here.
Arnulfo Navarro.
Present. We have pledge allegiance, please. Please stand. Position. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm looking at item number 3, and at this time I don't see anybody out there. So we'll go to the item number 4, consent calendar. The following items are presented to the Commission's approval without discussion of a single agenda item in order to expedite the meeting. Should a member of the Recreation and Parks Commission wish to discuss or disapprove an item, it must be dropped from the blanket motion of approval and considered as a separate item. Item A, approval of the minutes of Parks Commission regular meeting of October 1. Looking for approval, motion. A motion and a second. A motion and a second, all will approve, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Let's go to item number 5. Boys and girls of the updates. Good evening.
Good evening.
How you doing?
I could speak like this. Yeah, so this past month, we had not that much going on, just regular school business, school month. We had minimum 1 week this past month, so the kids were there a little earlier. We had a Torch Club, which is our 7th and 8th graders club. They try to do community service throughout the city, and they went to Oso Flaco with some trash bags. They filled up 2 trash bags full of trash they found out there, took some pictures, and went to King Falafel after for some burgers. That was pretty cool. Farm in Santa Maria donated like 300 pumpkins to Santa Maria. I don't even know what farm it was, but we got to bring some over, split it between Mackenzie Aces, Mary Varian Aces, and our kids. And it was a lot. Like each kid was able to pick like 2 or 3 pumpkins. We saved some pumpkins. We had like a pumpkin painting contest, and the kids got to vote which one was their favorite one. That was really fun, but super messy, super chaotic. Next year, I'm trying to think how we could do that better. It was just, I thought like not all the kids were gonna want to paint pumpkins, and at the last minute they were like, we all wanted to do it. There was signups all week, and like I had like 4 kids sign up, and the day came, and they were like, we all want to do it. So I was like, oh, okay. But it was a lot of fun. Cheer club, we had like 4 girls from the Bulldogs cheer, and they were like practicing their cheer, and some little girls saw, like the kindergartners and the 1st graders saw them, and they were like, could we coach them and start a cheer club? And I was like, sure, why not? And you have Tony Cuevas and like they're so nice to the little girls. They like got their own pom-poms. They like started wearing blue on Wednesdays because that's when they're gonna practice, which is really cool. Programs being conducted, Torch Club, which is like I said, our leadership club for the junior hires. DIY STEMs run every Friday, which is like a program where kids learn about science, technology, and engineering, math. It's a different one each Friday. One of our staff, she runs it. It's a program by the Boys and Girls Club that we have to run. National Art, which is just all of our art competition, all of our art pieces. The Boys and Girls Club of Central Coast is like having a hall, like a big presentation in the Santa Maria downtown, and some of our kids' art's gonna be there. So I submitted all of our art today. So hopefully I could get some more details so you guys can check it out. I know it usually it's up there for like a month. So, and it's free. Anybody can just walk in and check out all the art. We have our photography program, Triple Play, which is our PE program, and Ultimate Journey, which is our program about kids being safe in like physical and mental states as well. We do have basketball practices starting. Our basketball league kicks off December 7th. It includes Orchid, Guadalupe, and Santa Maria teams. Guadalupe basketball is short for 3 coaches. So if you guys know anybody, it's 2nd and 3rd grade girls. fourth and fifth grade girls, and fourth and fifth grade boys. So 3 coaches short. Practices are running daily. At the Boys and Girls Club, they're there until 8 p.m. So we close the gym at 5, and from 5 to 8, we have our different basketball teams just practicing in the gym. It's really cool because this year there was so many kids that signed up for the Boys and Girls Club League that they're so short of coaches. And again, all sports through the Boys and Girls Club is free. Some anonymous donor just covers everybody's fees. And kids from Santa Maria and Guadalupe have to pay $70 a fee, and all kids from GUSD are free, which is really awesome. And that's it. Any questions? I added some photos again of some of our kids in there.
I just want to comment that this is a really good report, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We're gonna try to add more photos, especially so you guys could get to look like the art pieces and the reading club. One of the pictures there, the kids made ice cream, so that's with ice, and like it was really cool. They really had a fun time. Yeah, I want to get some of our boys in there, our older boys up there too. They just come Fridays, play basketball, Mondays when Rigetti gets out early.
Picture right there.
That's the picture. And when they say they don't read,
What do these kids have in this bag?
They were making ice cream.
ice cream, they made ice cream. So we have milk and it's salt, and you pour the milk in a bag and you pour it in a bigger Ziploc bag with ice, and you shake it with. So it's really cool. I'm gonna add next week some of the cheerleading girls too, so you guys can check them out, what they're doing.
For basketball, will we still be able to do our movie night this summer?
All of the dates are blocked off. Pretty cool.
I did block them off, but I just.
Yeah, Fridays they usually don't have.
Oh, cool.
And for basketball coaches, if we know of anybody, how many days a week do they practice?
They could practice up to 2 days a week, so it's their choice. They just have to let Ernie or Vanessa, they're in charge of our sports leagues and the Boys and Girls Club, know what days they want to practice, and they put them in our calendar.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Is it like no more than 3 days a week?
Yeah, because there's so many teams they want to give enough time for everyone else. I know their hour slots, so it's from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and 7 to 8. And
And
then
each coach would just do one practice?
And then they sometimes when there's 2 teams practicing at the same hour, they split their court, which hasn't been a problem.
Is the girls' league that needs coaches?
Yeah, but it was a 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th girls, and then 5th and 6th boys. Mhm.
The best age, the young ones.
Mhm.
It's still
I know.
excited.
I don't know Christina's last name.
Hernandez,
Hernandez?
or,
I don't know, but she's like
Ruiz.
working like 4 teams.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was like, you're so brave, but she took up the call and she's coaching 4 teams. And one of her teams is a kinder team, and I'm like, you're so brave for that. So
Cute.
she's there all day on Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay, that's all I have.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the pictures too. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Love the picture. All right, awesome. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Moving, item number 6. Jack O'Connell, third product, grant update.
No significant updates besides, we submitted one more grant yesterday. It's called the Whale Trail Grant, which was for a smaller amount, $20,000. It wasn't specific to turf. There hasn't been anything that's come down for turf because of the budget, with the state. But Whale Trail, I sent it to Anise, so she has it, and it would provide funding for us to take 2 charter buses up to the Monterey Bay Aquarium for 25 kids on each bus, and all expenses paid for them and all their food, everything like that. And we'll find out in probably about 3 months if we got that one. So,
Are we still moving into phase 2 for the California Youth Access Grant?
yep.
Okay.
We're
And then the
still,
California Natural Resource Grant is still pending because of the budget thing?
yeah. the deficit's pretty high, so I don't see it changing anytime real soon for the state, but we'll see. But I do receive the memo every month from Barbara, the TPA representative, and I've talked to her quite a bit about the turf project, and she is looking out every month for opportunities for us.
Yeah, I checked the grants this month and it was like the forest one and that a Major League Baseball one
Yeah,
were the only two available. So,
but we're trying to submit between Barbara and I, we're trying to average like one a month to try to get in. So, I mean, at this point, it takes so long to get them reviewed, but at one a month, at some point in time, something's gonna shake out. So I'm still hopeful about our bus
yes,
that we're gonna hopefully get. And he's
Awesome.
gonna drive it around the city and
I'll be like,
wave.
everyone get on the bus.
So that's all the updates that I have.
Exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, any questions or anything for? Item number 7, Los Mujeres Park updates.
Okay, so for the last Mujeres Park update, the last meeting, they're still working on revising the plans for the final bid. And then I was supposed to have a meeting tomorrow, but they canceled it because they're still working on getting all the bids revised so that Jeff can do his part. So we're just in that stage right now, which is okay. That's the stage we're supposed to be in. We're not like delayed or anything. It's just part of the process. So, but last meeting, Michael, you weren't here. They, the council members picked the color of the sign that's gonna say Las Mujeres Park. Kind of. It was kind of a basic sign. It's nothing like uber special, but it has the seal and it says Las Mujeres Park, and they pick kind of neutral tones that kind of go with the surrounding environment. And then we have a Prop 68 sign that's a really, really large sign, kind of like at Leroy, that really, really big one. And that has to stay at the park for 4 years. And during construction, they have to have a smaller version on the fencing through the whole construction process. So that's the only signage that we've gotten through at this point. I was hoping to talk about it in this meeting tomorrow, but I'll wait until they'll probably either wait for next month or maybe later on this month. Back to the murals that I was telling you guys about at the last meeting. There's a total of, I think, 3 murals that have to be painted in the park. So I want to get more feedback from them on that and see what direction they're going, or if there was a particular direction, because I'm coming in on this project kind of on the back end of things. Hannah started it and now I'm here. So just kind of see what the direction is and then what process we need to take to get people to paint these murals. I don't know if they want one artist doing all 3 so they're cohesive, or maybe a group of artists trying to work together so it all flows, you know, because if you have different artists, you could have total different looks to where it's like you don't even feel like you're in the same place. So I'm not sure what the bigger concept was there. So I'm going to try to find all that out so we can then talk about it and decide procedure on how we go about getting members in the community to submit their projects. I mean, I know our new FOA has gone through that process with Leroy. So yeah, I'll get more information on that.
It's the first time I hear about yours. You guys already know about this?
No, that's good.
It's on the back walls of the park. It's
This part of the budgets?
yeah, it has to
Part of the
happen.
community art.
Yeah, for the grant,
Yes.
for you to be able to get the grant money, we had to have a certain amount of art in the park. So there's like, I think it was a minimum of at least 3 murals that have to be in the park. And then the water tower was another part of it that was going to be artistic. And now that they're not doing that, they're working with the grant company and talking about, well, now that we're not spending the money on the water tower to paint that and everything, can we move those funds in a different way in the park? And they need to find out if they have to be used specifically for art because they were originally going to be used for art, or if they can be used. An idea that I had was, it's nice to have a sign on one side of the park, but if you're coming in from the parking lot side, there's no sign that says this is Las Mujeres Park. I know at Jack O'Connell, people never know what park they're at because there's just the one little sign on the corner. And once you actually get to the park and park, there's no sign and no one knows what park they're at. And everyone tells me that it's the whale park.
Yeah.
So I say, oh, we're having the event.
Be better.
Yeah, I'll say I'm having an event at Jack O'Connell, and they're like, what park is that? And I'm like, the one over there, and they're like, oh, the whale park. And so I'm like, you know, if we had a sign near the parking lot, they'd probably know they're at Jack O'Connell. So they're gonna see if maybe a little bit of the money from the water tower, a very small portion, could be put into making either identical sign from the side that you guys already picked, or a smaller version of it, just so that each entrance, you know what park you're at, and you know, I just feel like, especially after you guys changing the name, it would be cool to make sure that everyone knows what park they're at. So yeah, so that's where we're at, and hopefully I'll be able to have another meeting in time for our December meeting to give you more updates. But we're kind of at that little standstill right now until we can move past the final bid plans. And that's it.
Who determines which murals are going on? Is it gonna, how is that gonna work? What's the process?
So that's what I'm trying to get from them exactly, due to the grant and the language in the grant, I need to know exactly what the parameters are for it, and then if there's any particular rules or regulations about how it gets picked. Again, do we have one artist do all three? Do we have a group of artists do it? Is it 3 different artists? So I'm gonna try to get all those details, and I was hoping to get them tomorrow, but that will wait until the meeting. So whenever they reschedule it,
I think last time at Leroy, we voted and then it went to council for approval.
Yeah. Yeah, you recommend it to council. I think that's what the commissioners do. You give them your recommendation.
I think that's
And then our council members choose. All right.
Sounds great. So they're not gonna be having any, the climbing apparatus. They were gonna do something like that with the water tower, where kids could climb up half part of it. That was one of the plans they were. talking about.
Oh, no, I don't
They
think
were
so.
gonna use the water tower and put it into like a park thing, where they're gonna maybe climb up half of it. Well, that's one of the plans where.
At this point, I know that the water tower is staying fenced off. I think they're gonna put fresh fencing around it, and then they're putting those slats so that you don't have to see through it. So I don't think so. I never heard about that. It sounds kind of interesting, but I don't think so. I think,
still sad it's
that-
not getting its makeover that it kind of deserves.
well, Verizon's doing it for us, you know, they won't take their equipment off.
Interesting thing though, if you notice, like if you live in this area, all of us just flipped to 5G recently. So when they were doing work on there, they were
They're up on it all
yeah,
the
they
time.
replaced the antennas.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
could have just taken them down.
They could have, but they don't want to. Not unless they get $100,000.
Mhm, that'll be bright and-
Yeah, shouldn't any.
This is our
Public
meeting.
stand.
Invite them to our meeting.
They should come.
But let's go to the land.
Zoom. Okay, so I'm super excited. You all gave me information on our local Zumba instructor, Monica. And so I reached out to her immediately the next day and talked to her. And we are now paying her to put on Zumba lessons. She's shooting for 2 per week, all month long. We have our November calendar set. You have it in your packet. We also have our December one scheduled already because all the events have been scheduled through December. Knowing that it's the holidays and it's a busy schedule, I'm trying to make sure I like block off the times I need before everyone else. You know, rents or does something with the different venues, just that the rec department has their piece. Last night was their first Zumba session. They had 26 people.
Wow.
And at 7 o'clock tonight, so in another 30 minutes, she'll be having her second session. So if after the meeting you want to go Zumba with Monica in the auditorium, she will be in there for an hour. We are working around the school district schedule, so she prefers the 6 to 7 slot, and I'm sure the community does as well. But on certain days, we have to have it 7 to 8 because of the games that the school district has on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then you have volleyball on Wednesdays and Fridays. So there's very tiny windows to fit her in twice a week. I know think it's next week. She's only doing one class just because we could not fit a second one in. But I think 26 people is a really good turnout. When we were doing line dancing, we had an average of 25 to 40 people per line dancing. And a lot, I would say a good handful of the people that were there last night were in line dancing. So that was nice to kind of see them come back to another activity that's similar. She also was telling me that she does 20 minutes of circuit training towards the end of her class, or in some portion of the class, as long as everyone there wants to do it. So it's not just dancing, and it's not just girly dancing, it's exercise. So, yeah, it was only last night. I would love to see some men jump in, because it is, I mean, it's a workout, you sweat, it's no joke. So, you know, even though it's dancing and mostly women go to it, it is a full body workout. So that's really excited to have her. She has a great attitude, and we're happy to have her, and happy to have another option for exercise for all ages.
And she's been pushing really hard on social media too. And so I thought that was nice to, like, she shared all your flyers.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Really trying to get the word out, and everybody knows her in the community. So
Yeah.
she just did a lot of praise to, like, thank you for Parks and Rec for giving me the opportunity to bring this back, because she had been at Boys and Girls for a long
Right.
time. So she's helping on your market.
Yes, yes. And I appreciate that, because regardless, she's already contracted to do it and she's already going to get paid. So she doesn't have to push the marketing. But I love to work with people that are just as enthusiastic about it, whatever we're doing, being as successful as it can be. So
Not doing it for them.
yeah, she's not doing it for the money. But it's just nice to have that partnership rather than it just be like, all right, I'll show up. So yeah, she's awesome. Love her already.
Soccer classes, item number 9.
Okay, so we had soccer classes in the month of October. So last time we chatted, they were just gonna be starting up. They went through the month of October, they went well. We now have soccer league, also by Youth Evolution, starting on December 11th. Registrations are going all the way up until December 11th, the day of. So community members can register. It is for youth, so the ages are 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, and 11 and 12, both boys and girls. It's $140 for residents and $145 for non-residents. And that includes, once again, me asking them to give a direct discount to the community. So that is $20 less than what they normally would charge any other community. So if they were in Aurora Grande, it'd be $160. So that's nice that our community is instantly getting a discount. So that's exciting, and I am pushing it now, obviously, because we need signups and all that. They should be bringing me banners to put up at each side of town. So I should be doing that soon as well. So if you hear of anybody and can help get the word out, that's awesome. I did give you full page flyers of absolutely everything we're doing in November, and I think 2 things in December, just because we're pushing them already. So if you want to share them or take pictures, or, you know, have someone that maybe wants to put them up in their window, we're just pushing hard to get kids out and active and moving.
That's great. Any questions?
Yeah, just one in terms of the sponsorship, what does that entail?
Yeah, so you can become a sponsor. So I know that they're looking for coaches. The volunteer coaches are needed. They will provide all the gear and a live scan if you want to volunteer coach. And then additionally, the sponsorship would help with fees for kids that might need it, and it will also help with coaching.
What does a business or an agency get in return, say $200 something?
Yeah, I don't know all those details just because it's through Youth Evolution, but I can definitely find them out and I can get back to you. The whole the soccer classes and this are completely run by them, so it's like they're partnering with us, but we're offering the facility and they're doing everything else. So the registrations go through their websites, all the questions, I always send them back to them because they're the experts and they know all those details. So I don't have all the answers, but I can get them for you.
And they're a nonprofit, are they? You know?
They are a nonprofit. No problem.
Any other questions? If not, put number 10, dunes hike.
Yeah, so on October 12th, our city council member Christina Hernandez, she had requested back in like April for me to set aside a date for her to take people on a dunes hike at Rancho Guadalupe Preserve, which is basically just the Guadalupe beach dunes. And she went out there. She had 7 people attend. Wasn't a huge attendance. I know it was a busy weekend that weekend. We've just had a lot of busy weekends where there's just a lot of events going on. And then the Dune Center was having a hike the very next morning. So I'm sure that, you know, there was a bit of competition there. Our hike was completely free. You don't have to pay for it. She said that the people had a great time. I think she said she had 2 people that were over the age of 70.
Wow.
2 or 3 that were over the age of 70 that showed up. So that was pretty awesome. Yeah, I think they were like 74 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was really cool. And they had a great time and they saw some wildlife and they were able to like walk around. It was a beautiful day. It was super sunny and just nice out there. So she does want to lead another one next year. So I just told her to let me know when, because you know I feel as recreation we also want to just not only keep the youth active but everyone active. And I've heard way too many people tell me they've never been to the beach and they live here in Guadalupe. So I'd love to hear less of that, because they do have experiences to go to the beach and things like that. Grant with the bus and stuff will help us accomplish that goal. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Beach.
Yeah.
Very good. Item number 11, movie nights.
Yeah, so our last movie night in October was the Huskies basketball team, which Whitney referred me to, ran the concession stand. I got their numbers back. They made a little over $200 that night. It was another really busy weekend. We had middle school dances. There was something going on in Santa Maria.
There was the World Series.
Oh, there was the World, yeah, there was, yeah. It's kind of a blur, but it was like World Series game. It was one of the World Series games. It was a middle school dances. It was like something else going on in Santa Maria. So our attendance was only like 40-ish people, which obviously wasn't as high as we were hoping for because it is a fundraiser, but they still made out with a little over $200. Rick told me that the coach, that he was in it more just to get his team out and get them, you know, volunteering and getting their name out and just doing an activity together. And then of course the fundraising was a benefit. So they would like to do it again. So I told them maybe reach out in the spring. So we have a little bit of a gap. They do all year long. They're a traveling team, so they fundraise all year long. So I was like, that's awesome. So, you know, hopefully the World Series won't be happening and we'll get a higher attendance. But yeah, I mean, you guys did 500 at 144 people and they did a little over 240 people. So I was like, it's still pretty good. You know, it's only
Good for the kids to like see that like money doesn't just appear.
that
like,
doesn't grow on trees.
like,
Yeah.
you gotta hustle for that money.
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
it's a lot. So
Well,
I think it's good for the kids.
yeah.
And
And the good thing is it's like 2-hour max time slot. So it's not where they don't have to be there like all day. It's a quick kind of turnaround. So yeah, that was awesome. So our next movie night is November 15th, which is next Friday. I will be putting up the vote on social media for people to, well, first I'm gonna ask for suggestions like I always do. We'll pick 4 movies, then they will vote. They have 24 hours to vote and we'll find out what next week's movie is. So that will be happening tomorrow. And we already have a date for December, a winter/Christmas themed movie. And then I'm gonna try to continue the movies every single month. I think it's a good thing, and if 15 people show up or 144 people show up, it's something for people to go and do. And I think it's enjoyable, and we've never had like a ridiculously low attendance. Like 15 is the least we've had, and that only happened one time. Normally we have like at least 40 to 50 people minimum. So I just feel like if that many people can come out and do something fun, why not do it every month? I think Hannah was just doing it like a section of the year. But I think it's well worth it. And we did buy the popcorn machine. I did not take the popcorn machine to the last movie because of the fact that we had a fundraiser going on. I didn't want them to get free popcorn and not go buy chips. So I didn't take it, so we didn't get to unveil it, but in November we are unveiling it. I have used it. We had, what do we have? We had pumpkin decorating last Wednesday in the gym right after school because they get out at 1:15. And I think I've told you guys, or I told you at the last meeting, I'm having these little events on Wednesdays at 1:15 to 3 o'clock, just to give the kids something to do. So instead of going home and sitting by themselves or wandering around, they can do something and then go home. We had well over 100 people in there. We had 100 pumpkins and we were left with 2, which I don't even know how we were left with 2. I made 10 batches of 20 ounces of popcorn. So that was 200 ounces of popcorn. And they just kept coming. The kids kept coming to the popcorn. So it went really well. And it was good to see how much I could make. And I just like for an hour, 45 minutes, that's all I did was make popcorn. I'd make it and then serve it and then make it and serve it and make it and serve it. And so I was like, okay, that's good. Now I know that when I do it at the movie night, I'm probably going to make some ahead of time, bag it ahead of time. So I have like 20 ready to go so that I can kind of keep with the flow. Cause, it was very, very popular. And I kept on getting asked if we had, what do they like to put on?
Things.
They wanted to put not tahini, but something else, a chamoy. They're like, do you have chamoy? And I was like, no. And everyone was asking for chamoy. And I was like, it's just popcorn, people. So, but it was cute. This little girl's looking up at me and she's like, chamoy, chamoy. And I was like, what is she saying? You know, I know what chamoy is, but I was like, why would you say chamoy? And it's like, do you have chamoy? And I was like, oh, chamoy for the popcorn. Yeah, no. I'm like, I got salt and butter. So yeah, so that was fun. So anyways, we do have the popcorn and it is getting used and we will continue to use it for movie nights and every event. Like I'm pulling that sucker out for every event because popcorn's cheap and people love popcorn. So, and I think the smell helps. Like when all of City Hall smells like popcorn, people come my way. So yeah, that was awesome.
Would we consider this an event?
About that, but then I was like, I don't think we should be eating and trying to have a meeting, you know?
I say yes. It doesn't work.
Because I joked around with Todd and I said, maybe on city council nights, I should put the
Yes.
popcorn machine
Yes.
out there. But then I was like, everyone's gonna be in here eating popcorn. And all you're gonna hear is like popcorn. So, so I was like, that's probably not a good idea. But maybe more people would come to city council meetings if they know there was free popcorn.
The whole purpose of Zumba, though, and all that popcorn you call.
Well, at Zumba, there's no popcorn. So there's a cutoff, no popcorn for Zumba.
That's where you draw the line.
That's where I draw the line. But at Poetry Jam, if you want to have popcorn, which is next on the docket, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. All right, I'm done, Joe.
Item number 12, poetry jam.
So this week, this Friday is gonna be the November edition of the Poetry Jam. It's completely now just like Parks and Rec section community event. We've been slowly kind of gathering, I guess kind of building like a Guadalupe Poetry Society. We're kind of in the midst of just starting something, getting more outreach. There's one of the people that attend, Lawrence Greco, he's organizing all the emails, so each time he's collecting new people's emails and just
Cool.
those people, the event flyers. This is we're not gonna have one in December, but looking to have one in January. The last one of the month of the year. I'm excited for it. I got some new stuff that I haven't shared yet, and should be
And free popcorn,
free popcorn.
And
which goes with the flyer.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, it took me a minute. I told him when he first sent it to me, it was really early in the morning, and I was like, why did he put egg yolks behind the Poetry Jam thing? And then I realized, oh no, it's corn. I thought it was egg. I was like, it's too early. But yeah, the popcorn will go perfectly with your Poetry Jam.
Yeah.
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 I guess we need to get chamoy.
Chamoy? I gotta get it.
look with that. Item 13, art classes series. Art,
Okay, so we're on our third art class of our 4-month art series. It'll be on November 13th, which happens to be a Wednesday, so it's a little different than what we normally do. We normally try to stick to a Saturday, but we have such a tight schedule in November. There were no Saturdays for me to offer it. So we're doing a Wednesday night. It's from 4:30 to 8:30 in the auditorium, or I'm sorry, not 4:30. What am I saying? 6 to 8 in the auditorium. They're going to be learning how to tie-dye a tote bag. So they're going to be taught the different techniques on how you can fold it to have it turn into an actual design instead of it just being like blotchy. And they don't get to open it until 24 hours passes. So it'll be put in a Ziploc bag once everything is done. They take it home and then they have to wait until the next day to open it up and wash it to see what happens. So I'm going to encourage all of them to take pictures so we can see what the final product is of their art. But I think it's kind of cool. These are different things that not all kids will experience, you know? And so I like that we have a diversity in our art classes where they're doing things that, you know, aren't just the run of the mill. Like next month, they're making snow globes from scratch. So they'll have all the pieces and they have to put the whole thing together. So I just think it's kind of neat. We're not making birdhouses or coloring or, you know, like we're doing something different. And who doesn't love tie-dye? That is awesome. So I'm excited for that. We still have 9 spots available. We always have 24 spots for every class because they are paid classes with paid instructors. So I have 9 spots left to fill. So if you know anybody or you want to bring a youth in your life, just register so you hold your spot and then come on over.
Sounds great. Any questions for?
Just to comment on, you know, the things that you're doing. I think it's important because when you talk about the tie-dye, for example, I know this young girl, I think she's about 8 or 9. She learned how to make soap, right? From an activity. Now she has her own little business, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you can teach kids to do these things and then teaches them entrepreneurial skills, you know, so
Right.
they can do these things and so they can market this, you know, especially online and all the things. That's a good thing.
Yeah. The way I look at all the activities that I think of putting on or that I put on is I want the kids in this community to have a huge variety of experiences so that they know that there's more out there than just being a doctor, just being a farmer, or just being a lawyer. Like there's options, you know, the fashion show that we did, like, you know, that opens their eyes to new things, the tie-dyeing, the art. There was this amazing girl that she was probably like 12 or 13 years old that did an incredible job at our pumpkin painting with the canvas. Like I was like, holy cow, like I walked by it and it was the techniques she was using, everything were so advanced, like definitely, you know, not only adult level, but like skilled level of artistry. And I was like, wow, are you like, do you like painting? Do you like doing this? And she's like, yeah, I do it from time to time. And I'm like, girl, like go to school for like an art degree and like, you know, so I just want their eyes to be open to the fact that there's more out there than just the normal stuff that you think of as jobs, as careers, as like you said, businesses. Like maybe just one little experience that they have with us at the rec department will spark an interest in something that leads them down maybe a different path than what their original path was going to be. And so yeah, so I love all the exposure. And I know some people have kind of looked at it and been like, it's like you're not doing enough sports and like it's rec and sports and, you know, like there's always the old school mentality where it's rec is sports, but I'm like, there's so much more to it. And I research lots of different recreation departments. I follow recreation departments, even other states like Arizona and stuff, just to see what they're doing. And they are doing other stuff than sports too, you know, they're doing sports, but they're also doing other things. And so it's not like it's new. It's just maybe different than what Guadalupe is used to, or some people in Guadalupe are used to. But rec is more than just sports, like definitely sports, but we can build upon that. And I think it's important for reasons like you just said. So I'm excited to keep on having new activities that open people's eyes and their experiences to broader spectrums than just same old, same old.
Item number 14, Fall Festival.
Yeah, so I have been working with Taylor Farms now for since right before the color run. Trying to get them more involved. They're huge in our community. They're just a huge company in general. And they want to start doing more things in the community and be more involved. And so we kind of mutually reached out to each other, and I was like, hey, let's do something together. And she's like, actually, I meant to reach out to you. I saw that, you started new with the rec department. And I was like, maybe we can start working on a relationship, start doing more things with you, with the city, and getting our name out there, and just kind of offering more. So we initially did the sponsorship for the color run. They sponsored the selfie stand. So that was awesome. And then they said, hey, let's try to do like an event together. So we sat and we were working on different ideas, and originally was going to be this Saturday, but we had a little scheduling conflict because something got double booked on this Saturday, and it wasn't on the calendar, so I wasn't aware of it. And then all of a sudden, at the last minute before we started marketing this, we realized it, which was awesome. Awesome that we figured that out. So we rescheduled it for December 7th. And yes, it's still fall, just for anybody looking at that date going, that's not fall, it's winter. No, fall actually goes to December 22nd. So it is fall. So it's December 7th. It's going to be from 4:30 to 8:30 in the auditorium. Although it sounds kind of strange, we're having a foosball tournament. I've never heard of a foosball tournament in my life, but Taylor Farms had a foosball table for their employees.
Yeah, several.
Well, yeah, so they started with one or two, and like people would play it, and they were getting into it. I mean, not just the guys, but the girls. And like at lunch breaks and stuff, people were like hoarding around the tables and watching these people like duke it out. And so then they got more tables, and then they decided to put on a tournament, and they had like over 100 people enter their tournament from just their staff. I think they have a staff of like 500 or something like that. And so that went really well. And then they additionally had a salsa contest, and they had I think 20 plus entries for the salsa contest, like homemade salsas.
I was.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like salsa food. So anyways, they threw those ideas out there, and they were really popular. And as we all know, Guadalupe is there's a huge Hispanic community and population, and I never even thought about foosball tournament. Like, I played foosball randomly, but they're like, yeah, they loved it. It was popular. They were excited about it. And I said, okay, what the heck, let's go for it. So we're doing those two things. We have the whole courtyard is going to be covered in a ton of different yard games, bouncers. We're having a piñata. We're having a food vendor. We have music. Like, it's all happening. All ages can come. There's something for everyone. It's 100% free. Taylor Farms is going to be offering snack pack, like these little vegetable snack packs that have like the ranch dip or the peanut butter or whatever, to everyone. The salsa contest is being voted on by the people that come. So there's not a panel. It's like, you'll get a ticket when you come in. You go to the salsa table. If there's 20 salsas, you try them and you put your vote in for whichever one you want. Meaning you can eat that as well. So it's another thing that they can eat. There's going to be popcorn. There's going to be other snacks, free drinks. And then there is going to be a paid vendor because it's kind of dinner time if they want to come out and get like a meal. And there's prizes for all the foosball. The top 10 are getting prizes. The top 3 are getting further recognition. For the salsas, it's a top 3. And there's prizes for them and trophies and the whole 9 yards. So it's gonna be interesting. It's quite a mixture of activities. But I'm excited about it, and we're already getting registrations and entries for both things. For the foosball and for the salsa contest, so it'll be fun. I'm excited, and I love partnering with people in the community, so I'm glad that Taylor Farms is coming on board, and I feel like we're building that relationship, and I think we can continue to build it further. I know that they were talking about Jack O'Connell and the need to get that kind of upgraded, and the scoreboard and things like that. So I'm hoping that this relationship leads to more collaborations moving forward. So all good things. And I hope to see you all there playing either foosball or bringing your salsa.
Where did they have the horseshoe pit?
We have horseshoe sets that we're going to be bringing out here. The hardware store donated them to me during the art festival. They gave me 2 really nice horseshoe sets.
Wow.
Yeah, that was super nice of them. So we'll have the horseshoe sets out here. It'll be kind of a U shape, so you can just go from activity to activity, and the whole courtyard's gonna be covered with all sorts of things that you can do.
I was like, it's so fun.
Are you
That's
bringing
really
over their small tables?
They are bringing all their foosball
That's
tables,
big out
yeah.
there, right? Get all those.
They're the one thing that they were in charge of completely was the foosball tournament, 100%. It's all on them. They have their system. They know how to break it all down. They're bringing all the tables. They bought some new tables because we needed more. I think we have a total of 10 tables now, 10 or 12. They have the bracket system, and I'm like, sounds great.
If I knew how to play, I would try, but I will come taste salsa.
Yeah. And the salsa is open to businesses as well. So
That's nice.
yeah, so businesses or just community members can submit their salsa. And when they scan the QR code, which is on that flyer that you see in front of you, it gives them the breakdown of the rules and all that stuff. The salsa is pretty simple. The foosball does have rules, and we made sure to put them in English and Spanish so everyone knows the way that foosball is going to work. But yeah, so share away. Super excited.
Any questions or comments about the festival? If not, we're going to 15, Christmas home decorating contest.
Okay, so this one I've never been a part of, but you all have. So we're gonna go for it again this year. It's the Christmas home decorating contest. It is open to all Guadalupe residents. Businesses can join in, but they will not be in it for the prize. But we encourage them to join in to be recognized, and they will also be on our map. So just like last year, we will get all the registrations end December 13th. I will map out all the addresses on a fun little map, which I will then put out in the community through social media and the website and everything, so everyone knows that if they want to get their hot chocolate and get in the car and get all jolly, they can go on a little route through Guadalupe and know which houses are further decorated or in our particular contest. And then the weekend of the parade, I was hoping that you all would want to drive around to those addresses and judge, because you are all the judges. So we just need to figure out if you guys want to do it after the parade, or December 14th is the parade, the Kiwanis parade, and it starts at 6 o'clock. I've never seen the parade, so I'm not sure how long it goes or what that looks like, but
It's pretty
okay.
Don't blink.
So if it's pretty quick, that might be a nice night, because then it's like 2 birds with 1 stone. You're probably already gonna be at the parade, and then we could just jump in the car and then drive around to the addresses. And then judge them per category. There's 3 different categories, so we'll just make a sheet, and then you guys can, categorize which ones you like best. Or the option is Sunday the 15th. And the reason why our options are kind of low is because the city is closed the following week. And that last week before it's closed, I got a lot going on. So I got to wrap up a lot of stuff and get everything squared away for January. So I just need to know a consensus if you guys want to try to do it after the parade, or if you want to do it on Sunday the next day. It does have to be at night, obviously, because we gotta be able to see the lights.
So let's check my schedule.
Okay. So I will bug you guys about that in the group chat, and as soon as you see my text, if you can respond, so we can all see the responses and kind of coordinate that. That'd be awesome. Okay. Awesome. I will make sure we bring popcorn, so we can eat it.
You read my mind.
Yeah.
And hot chocolate.
Yes, but we won't be eating it in my car. We'll get someone else's car to eat it in.
Last time we had like a caravan because we had so many people, and so we had like the map, and then we would like we were all. I think 'cause your
Oh.
sister came, Grace
My
came.
wife came.
Can I come?
Oh,
Yeah, we brought,
Last
last year Megan Lizaldi and I rode together.
but you guys are the only judges.
Yeah. But
It's
we just,
only your opinion
Yeah.
matters,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I see my wife.
I was reading through what was left from last year, and it seemed like you five actually make the decision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
but we just, it was
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like a big event, like we got hot chocolate from
This fun.
Guadalupe Cafe, and then like we'd meet there. I think we have a group picture in one front of a house.
Oh, okay.
It was actually pretty fun.
Okay. Does anybody have a van or access to like a bigger van where we could all be together?
No,
Could it just be nice to be together, because then it's like, you know, you can chat it out kind of a thing.
yeah,
All right,
maybe
well,
next year when we get our bus, your minibus.
you know, I wonder if I could, I'll look into it. Maybe I can get, something for, how long did it take you guys?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say like, what?
It was like 2 hours. We got lost a few times.
Okay.
Yeah. I
You said
remember.
for more, maybe like closer to an hour and a half?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No more than 2 hours.
I think just making sure that people know that we're coming, like that.
Yeah,
have your
so-
lights on,
Yeah,
and
so
then-
in the rules, it
that was-
specifically says, it specifically says, when you go to the packet,
They accept bribes.
no bribes.
Paid professionals are not eligible.
Yeah.
They got the wallet.
Yeah, so you do have to leave your lights on, turned on from 5 to 9 from the 13th to the 24th. That is one of the requirements. So the 13th is the last day to get all the registrations in. So from that date on, once the map is gonna be put up on the 13th. So from that evening on until the 24th, you must have your lights on from 5 to 9. Meaning technically we will judge on any of those nights. Now, if we show up to the house and their lights aren't on, to me, that's a disqualification, because it is one of the requirements and it is a contest. The other thing too is we did keep the 3 categories as you guys suggested in the group text. And so, last year was a $10 gift card. I thought maybe we could try to bump that to a $20 gift card.
Cover one meal.
Yeah, so if you guys have any friends in Guadalupe that have businesses that maybe you could get a $20 gift card, and we could all try to work together to get 3 of them. We only need 3. That'd be awesome. And I think any business, I mean, I feel like most of Guadalupe probably go to most of the businesses. So if we could just get 3 $20 gift cards donated, that would be really cool. And then I might try to like add something else, make a little kind of basket out of it so that we can then present the prizes to them. So scheduling wise, I'll reach back out to you guys. So look at your calendars, all of you, and decide that weekend what's best for you. And then I'm gonna try to work on some sort of larger vehicle to see if we can try to all be together. Cause I just think it'd be more fun than being separate. I mean, we might have to limit like how many extra people come per the size of the vehicle. But they could trail along, but I think it'd be fun for all of you to be in one so that you're talking about what, you know, what the contest is. So. Anyways, that's it.
Sounds good. Item number 16. Gulf Nonprofit Organization Joint Meeting. Mr. Nichols has not got back to me yet. But I'm gonna get back to him again.
Okay.
And it's typical.
We postponed this item last time because you weren't here. But
Mr. Nichols said he has a nonprofit meeting on Friday.
yes.
I have the information.
Oh,
It's
okay.
called G-Con.
G-Con,
Yeah,
okay.
Guadalupe Coalition of Nonprofits. They meet every Friday, every third Friday, no, every second Friday, excuse me.
Every second Friday.
Every second Friday at 3:30 at the social club.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if anybody can make it. I'm gonna try to make this one.
Every,
Second Friday.
That's this Friday.
is it this Friday or what is?
Well, last Friday was the first.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just
was
found
it?
this out
Okay.
at Another meeting.
Oh, okay, so it's the 8th.
So join these together.
Yeah, but they said when they first started, I got this with Garrett, you guys know Garrett.
Yeah.
He said when they first started, they had like 20-something nonprofits are now.
Well, maybe it's because
only
it's not
about
being
7 or 8
marketed, because this is the first I hear of it.
Just start. Right, I had never heard it before. either.
Maybe if like they make a flyer and like kind of announce it, because I had never heard of
Yeah.
it.
But yeah,
a cool club.
Okay, and I'm sorry, can you tell me that again? It's from 3:30?
3:30, it starts at 3:30 at the social club.
30 PM.
They let them use one of their. I guess they have a space, yeah, they have a space on the side there.
Okay, perfect. So if anybody in the public is listening in, that's on November 8th at 3:30 at the social club.
I encourage if anybody from here, I'm gonna try to make it, but, check it out.
I can get off work in time. I'll try to go down there.
Yeah. My Friday is a little bit busy because of the movie night, but I'll try to swing by even if it's just for a few minutes and say hi. Be nosy.
And G-Con's different than the GBA
Yes. GBA is for businesses, G-Con is for
nonprofit.
No.
nonprofit.
Seems very exclusive that none of us have heard of it before.
I know. How long has it been going
I
on?
don't know exactly.
Oh, wow.
I was mentioning it to Garrett.
We need like a-
I mean, and I gotta say, you guys are all like pretty prominent in this community, like people know your names. So it's like pretty crazy that none of you know about it, but like people know you in the community, like,
it at all.
yeah, so.
So we need
I was
like a
surprised
code word to
they
get
had
it. A secret handshake.
It's all about G-Con.
Talk about
Yeah. I mean, I would be curious to know if the city council knows about it.
I don't.
Yeah. Like, maybe we should invite them to a city council meeting so that they can talk about it, because not only is it streamed, but like then people would start hearing about it, maybe start talking about it. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we'll send the first meeting and get a feel for what it's like.
Yeah.
So they want
See what they do.
want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if we go as representative of the city, it takes away from the nonprofit, but we're.
well, I mean, as long as they're okay with someone just maybe listening in, because it's more about the information. Because I think the first comment that you ever made about this was just the idea of like, when we double schedule and when things are going on in town and just, you never know what is happening because you don't know what other people's schedules are, what events they're doing, and we don't know what organizations and stuff. So, yeah, so it's just good to be
Help them out.
Go
informed.
undercover as members of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, if you even think about it, all these youth groups and sports groups are nonprofits, so it would apply for you guys to go, but you don't even know that it exists, so, you know, like, who knows? G-Con. But
Text so they say thanks for the information. I got it from somebody else.
there you go, there you go.
So there you go.
Awesome, thank you for getting that for us.
Number 17, commission request comments and meeting reports.
The only thing I was gonna ask, it's not really recreation, but I know there was the gentleman who got hit by the car on his bike. On Sunday. It was very significant accident. He posted on our neighborhood page that he like broke both legs, ribs. He's in the hospital for several weeks. Has there been any more discussion about what they're gonna do to that intersection there, as we're trying to get people to engage with like coming out from that side of the neighborhoods and to our events? Dangerous.
I'll be completely honest, I hadn't heard about that particular accident. Normally chief sends out
Sunday.
like notices to us, heads of departments. He sends out certain notices when certain things happen. I didn't get that particular report. So I don't know about that, but I know that they have been talking a lot about the city council about that area, and
It has been talked about.
yeah, and so.
But I did see that. I didn't get it from the chief, but it's something we can discuss on Tuesday.
Well, that's counter property.
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
but there is some plans, and sorry,
Go ahead. It's just, it's a little bit of a gray area because it's the Caltrans and it's
Well,
us and.
There's a couple different intersections that are gonna be worked on in the next several years, and if I recall, that's the next one, but it's not starting till like 2026.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on those numbers, but it's definitely in the
It's a while.
lineup. But that was my impression when we talked about it, but don't, like I said, don't quote me on those numbers, but when I heard about it, I was like, ooh, that seems like a long ways away.
I'm just thinking, like, as I'm watching the junior high go up over there, knowing there's gonna be more and more kids crossing there. And
Traffic.
more parents, and it's already dicey getting out of there in the
Yeah, it's
morning, but it
hard.
was really. It was sad to see that gentleman's update, you know, like, I'm okay, but, and then this.
2 days.
Just like, I mean, that's
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, I just wanted to put it back out there again, like, as we're increasing footprint of kids. And recreation in the school and trying to get kids from that area into some of our activities, like not letting the narrative stop that it is a pretty dangerous intersection, and depending on the time of day. And the fog, and like I see people hit that sign to be able to have it flash, and people are coming the other direction at like 60 miles an hour.
You try to cross, sometimes somebody's gonna turn left and you can't tell they're turning.
Yeah,
It looks like they're actually on the other lane going straight, so you start pulling out, 'cause you think, oh no, they're turning left.
Yeah.
Well, I can bring it up on the Tuesday council, because when I saw that too, I was like, ooh, I saw I was like, oh, is that intersection? Of course it
Several
was.
kids already got hit and have.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
they
heard
did
of
talk
several.
about, they did talk about the kids that have gotten hit at, I think, the last meeting, and it was part of that conversation. that
Yeah,
they're-
it's been talked about a lot, but if there's something that we can do to move it up, I don't know if there is, but it's getting worse and worse, so I agree with them.
Yeah, I think if we can just keep it on the radar, and then just being able, so we were the second street that moved in over there in Pasadena, so we were there since, like, there's 5 houses on the street, and there's been. Children hit, there's now been an adult, there's been 2 cars that have flipped over, and then just knowing that the progress is looking beautiful for the junior high, but it's
Yeah.
gonna drive so many more people that
Yeah,
direction.
absolutely.
I didn't think, oh, no, yeah. There's just been a lot of really
Yeah.
crazy stuff, so.
I've always got hit in my bike crossing that.
Oh, man. That's scary. Even driving, I'm always like, what am I, because I don't live over there, but I go past there a lot, so.
Well, and the other thing too is the more people, I know this. Some people feel like it's worthless, but the more people that come to the city council meetings and say something about it. The more attention it gets, so.
City council.
So, if that general community that's concerned, maybe you throw it out there on the group page that there is a city council meeting coming up. If they come and they talk about it, especially with the gentleman just being hit, which, it's just one more of the many incidents. Hopefully that puts a little more pressure and more importance on it. I know
Yeah.
Chief says that he's over there and they try to, monitor it and stuff, but they can't be over there 24/7,
Yeah.
and so, yeah,
Yeah,
so,
Yeah, you have to, 'cause you like,
I know, it's hard to get out of there, like when you're pulling out of there at like 7:30 in the morning, it's
Oh, yeah.
tough. But not as hard as at 5 o'clock, that's
Yeah.
when, and at the train, like, there's so many things
Oh, yeah.
going on there.
yeah, it's too many moving
That's
parts.
that's good, something to bring up.
I did read an article in the paper, in the back of the paper where Caltrans is asking for people's views about things that are. What they'd like to see done on the road from Guadalupe to Center.
That's good.
They see that article, but. They're asking for suggestions from some people.
I was surprised too, that second, so not the traffic, so the one that's just barely outside of town. I didn't realize that stop sign wasn't Guadalupe Police Department property, because it's been about a month and a half, but we saw a hit and run there and pulled over to help the person that got hit and called 911, and it took like 40 minutes for highway patrol to arrive, because
Oh,
it's the one, I thought it was, because I mean, I can see my house from where we were standing, I'm like,
the light.
no, it's not at the light, it's going towards Main Street, so it's right where the fields are at there, where the bonsai person.
Oh, like the 4-way stop right there?
Someone
Oh,
blew through it and hit somebody.
yeah, I've seen an accident there too. That one's But yeah, but we have joint, we have like the highway patrol, even if Guadalupe is closer, Guadalupe should be able to go there still, but I don't know exactly what happened, and we only have a couple officers here, so.
Good news story was like, we gave a description and they found the person that
Okay.
hit the hit and run drive or hit the driver before help got there for the person that was hit.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Well,
No, these are all good things.
traffic stuff. Okay, we had enough.
Just one comment, would it be appropriate for us to do something for that kid? Give him something, like a gift card, I don't know, I'm just throwing it.
The what kid?
The one that got it.
Oh, is he a kid?
I think it's an adult.
Oh, it's an adult.
Oh,
Yeah, it's an adult, I think.
Oh, no.
A lot of people were talking about helping him, like the meals and
Yeah.
stuff, so I think he's getting
Two broken legs.
and ribs and was gonna be, but don't worry, I'll be home in a few weeks.
Yeah,
Man,
but, yeah, I just wish him well.
I we all wish him well.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
I have a comment on just something, different note, but, I'll probably try to add it to the, next agenda if I'm, prepared, but. I'm gearing up to, do a short film, filming hopefully February of this upcoming year. Over at the La Sympathia, cafe.
that's nice.
I've been writing it for a while, but I wanna, open up casting to the community at large, and I wanna. Just reach out to anybody who's interested, so I'm just in the like kind of the beginning stages of organizing this, but. I wanna really tap into our community's talent, then
Be really cool.
there's there's roles for pretty much all ages, so, yeah, I'll get organized, put it out there and, probably have it on the agenda.
Not
your man, get off my lawn type of guy.
This is a cow.
That's really cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, I'm sorry. Shut it down there. You're in-
Just got it too.
Oh, I'm looking for adjournment, if we're ready.
How about you do it, Greg?
Second that motion.
Second it.
And then you second that, all those in favor of adjourning at this time?
Aye.
You're not adjourned, thank you for inviting us to your home.